No. No. That's the third time we've diamond pressed. So we just started doing it. I don't know. We made a lot of mistakes. About 3 days you're going to make a lot of mistakes.
Either trying too hard early, to relax a little bit, and just tell it the game.
I don't know. Couldn't catch, I know that. I don't know. I guess maybe. I don't know. I don't know why. We just couldn't catch.
What did happen in that second half that allowed things to progress the way they did?
It's a cumulative effect of pressure. It's what happens. And I thought Javon made some really big plays for us, chasing people down from behind. He chased a couple guys down from behind, flipped it out. And, when that happens, then all of a sudden now you're looking all over the place, and you're not really looking to maybe advance the ball or look at guys in scoring areas as much because you're concerned about ball security. And that was big for us, but Gary was good. Jay Sean Page made some big plays for us. We just didn't run any offense. We've really got to do a better job running offense.
What drew you to Page in the first place?
His athleticism. You know, he shot the ball better from three than I thought he could. I mean, his numbers were better, if you can rely on those numbers. But his athleticism.
She talked about Dexter Miles and his interest in inserting himself into the lineup every time he got a chance. Just talking to him, he said that's how he's been his entire life. Growing up in Baltimore, it's what you had to do if you wanted a chance to play. What do you see from him mentally that you feel like as a freshman he's ready for what he may be asked to do this year?
But that's the worst he's been. And in all honesty, he's played much better than that. He didn't shoot it as well as he shot it. He just wasn't as active as what he's been. And Dax has got great athleticism as well. And you know, it doesn't do you a lot of good to have athleticism if you don't use it. And I didn't think he made plays that he's made in practice that he's capable of making.
As I'm asking on a good day, I mean.
On a good day, what will he start?
Well, no, just what have you seen from him that you have?
Why don't you ask a question I can understand?
Give me an idea of him mentally, that he's a guy who's ready for that opportunity if it comes his way.
Well, I mean, if he gets the opportunity to start, obviously he deserves it. Obviously he's done some things that we feel like we need him to do on the floor. I don't know. I just had this conversation downstairs with Jay on the radio, and Jay wants a rotation, and I don't have one. And Jay thinks it's really important for a rotation, and it came down to Jay said, I need it. And I said, Jay, that's the problem. It's a team thing, you know? It's not I. Yeah, that's what I talk to our guys about all the time. It's not about I, it's about us. And I don't have one.
How big could it be?
What?
The rotation.
I could see 13 guys getting in. I mean, honestly, Tariq came in. I thought played pretty doggone well, and I forgot about him. You know, Larry said, you know, he didn't get in until 7 minutes ago in the first half. And Larry said, you got to get Tariq in, and I was like, oh, I forgot about him. Those guys think it's cool to sit down there on the bench. They'll figure it out. I don't look that far down.
That press, it seems like the key is to be consistent with it in the first half and then just have it wear down teams in the second half. Is that kind of how you want to see that work throughout the season?
Well, I think the key is that you put pressure on the ball and you're have an opportunity to create a turnover the length of the floor instead of just in a half court or just in a quarter court. I think the cumulative effect is that it wears people down. Yeah, I mean, it's going to wear us down too, but hopefully we have enough guys that we can survive that. And you know, it's harder than, like you see the guards up there having ball pressure and expend a lot of energy, but I think what sometimes we don't realize is now I'm asking those bigs to go rebound the ball, and we need to rebound it better than we did today, by the way. But then they got to turn and run back because they have basket protection. We did a bad job of that. We did a bad job. I don't know so much running back. We did a terrible job of protecting the basket. But then again, we had a whole bunch of guys back there that really haven't been back that much. And we've only done 3 days.
I know you've always been a big rebounding guy. Does points off turnovers become just as important now as rebounding numbers?
Easy baskets become important. They've always been important.
Yeah.
It's, you know, there's different ways to get them, and it depends on the makeup of your team as to how you're going to get them. I don't know why we can't get them off the offensive glass. And obviously we're going to try to get some off our defense.
What about Jonathan Holton? Do we see him get a true glimpse of him today?
No, he wasn't very good either. None of our bigs were very good. None of our bigs are as good as what they have been. But I think, you know, by and large, I think they've been playing at their own pace, you know, which is when you're playing at your own pace and you're so much more comfortable, I think it's easier. And that's, you know, now all of a sudden we didn't know what they were going to do, obviously, how they were going to attack the press, and they did a good job. They went 1 up, they went 2 up, they went 4 up, and did a lot of different things, and which we hadn't really worked on. And so we were out of our comfort zone as well, and he was out of his comfort zone. I think our bigs they ended up like they were reaching and not exploding. Now some of that probably was fatigue, and you know when you come out and you're all kind of geeked up and excited, you get fatigued a little faster. But no, I don't think you saw the best of any of our bigs.
You talk about not having a rotation yet. Today we saw six guys scoring double figures, 3 more scored 9, another guy scored 8.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a result of not having a rotation, or is that a result of an exhibition game, or is that something that we'll have to see as the year goes on?
But we didn't run anything, you know. So you know, obviously we're going to need Devin or somebody to score close to the basket, Kevin or Jonathan or Elijah or somebody to score close to the basket, and we didn't do that. But a lot of that was our spacing was so bad. You know, we tried to run just a little thing that we run for Devin just to get him the ball, and Billy caught it like 28 feet from the basket, and I'm like, Billy, we're trying to throw it to Devin. And he said, well, I know, Coach, but I just couldn't get it to him. I said, well, because you didn't catch it where I told you to catch it. You know, if you catch it at 17 feet, it's a pretty easy pass. If you catch it at 28, it's an impossible pass. And those are just, you know, I tell my staff all the time, they're always, we need to do this. And I'm like, okay, who's going to pass the damn thing? Tell me who's going to pass it. Then I'll think about how we do it. But tell me who's going to make the pass. The hardest thing is to figure out who's going to make the pass. I mean, we all know who you want to catch it. That's easy. How do we get it to them? And it's just our spacing was horrible today. Horrible.
Holden, you said he wasn't at his best. What does his best look like?
That's why I'm hiding it from you. I read that somewhere where I was hiding things from you. So I'm going to keep trying to hide them from you. I'll tell it. If you want to leave, I'll tell everybody else. But he's, you know, he's capable of, well, obviously he made a three, he's capable of making threes. He's really a better rebounder. He's one of those guys that throws it up on a rim and it bounces in, and you don't know how. Sometimes it looks like he's throwing it under the rim and it crawls over and goes in. It's just, he said one day, he said, I don't know how it goes in, but somehow it does. He's unorthodox isn't the right word, but he just does stuff that's not conventional. He's not a conventional scorer, but he scores. He didn't do it today. He would. None of them did, really. And I think Wani just tried to manage the game. You know, he didn't really try to do some of the things he can do. Try to get other people involved.
Juwan and Gary said they've been trying to be more assertive and letting guys know what their roles are, what they need to do. Are you seeing that? How important is that?
What's the first time since, I don't know, since Kevin Jones that we've had somebody who would do that? You know, I love Dennis. Dennis is one of my favorite people of all time, but Dennis didn't want to lead. Just didn't want to. And obviously we really haven't. Wani tried, you know, a year ago, and did a pretty good job. But between Wani and Gary, they know what's going on, and they don't know the pressure as well. But they know the other stuff. They know where people are supposed to be. I think it's a matter of, because I tell them where to be and they don't go there. So I know how frustrating it is for those guys when they're trying to get them, you know, to where they're supposed to be. When you tell a guy during a timeout you're over the ball, that really shouldn't be that hard to figure out. We ended up with two guys back and nobody over the ball. They're trying. I'm trying to, believe me, I am. I swear to God, Drew, I am. But between trying to hide things from Justin and, you know, trying to be really good at what I'm doing, it's been hard.
Anything else?
Coach, does Devin's role kind of change this year since, I mean, first half 0 points but 9 rebounds? I mean, do you foresee the fact if he doesn't score any points, is that a winning effort that you guys can take?
And now he needs to score for us. But, you know, and a lot of it was his fault, but a lot of it wasn't his fault. A lot of it was we didn't make very good passes to him. But a lot of it was he just didn't do the things that we've worked on that he's kind of been really good at. And the other thing, quite honestly, it's hard sometimes for big guys like that to play against smaller guys, and they were doubling him, and you know he just thought he was gonna bounce it into the guy and score, and they ran and stole it a couple times. And we just didn't. A lot of times, you know, we shot when we should have passed. We passed when we should have shot. We'll look at that on film and try to fix that.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.